Now that springtime is here, it's the perfect time to get your lawn into tip-top shape. After the long, cold, harsh winter months, it's now time to give your lawn that much needed love and attention. These tips will have your lawn looking great now and will set you up for success for the rest of the year. It will save you hours of time down the road if you put in the work now, and that's what we're really looking for when it comes to battling those pesky weeds, or especially when our lawnmower's been sitting idly by and hasn't been able to be used all winter. So here they are, the best tips for your lawn this spring. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is take a walk around your yard and survey your yard for any type of damage that's happened during the winter months. Now you can see with my yard here, I have some matted down areas that I'm going to need to address, and this is where light raking is going to come in very handy. Raking is the first thing you're going to want to do when you want to get your lawn ready for some new growth. Even if you did a phenomenal job of raking leaves in the fall, you still need to contend with thatch. If you're unfamiliar with thatch, thatch is the layer of mainly dead turf grass tissue laying between the green vegetation of the grass above and the root system in the soil below. This layer, if it becomes too thick, about a ½ inch or more, can be bad for the health of your grass. You still need to rake in the spring, no matter how good of a job you did in the fall. You need to remove the grass blades that died over the winter. You do not want that dead grass turning into thatch. Another good reason for spring raking is you can find matted down patches on the lawn. And this could be the result of what's called snow mold. Snow mold is a fungus, but it's actually not harmful to your grass. What you want to do is to make sure you take a rake out, rake that matted down grass, make sure you stand it up on its ends, and that's going to help you get rid of the snow mold and also help increase airflow into your lawn. And remember, the keys to a healthy lawn are air, water, and soil. So we want to make sure that we stand those grass blades up by raking it so we can get some air into the lawn. Before we put down any fertilizer applications in our lawn, it's important to know what's going on with our soil. That way we can plan our fertilizer applications accordingly. And for that reason, I recommend that we get a soil test done. When you get a soil test done, it's going to tell you what nutrients are lacking in your lawn. And the other thing that it's going to tell you, which is important, is what our lawn pH is in the soil. Knowing your pH level in the soil is going to help tell you if you need to add any amendments to your lawn, like sulfur or lime. I'll link down below in the description where you can get a soil test done, where you can send that to the lab, and the lab will have specific instructions for you on how to take that soil sample, and then when they send that back, we're ready to go to make our soil as healthy as possible to get our lawn looking the best this spring. When is the best time to put down pre-emergent herbicides? The best time to put down pre-emergents is when the temperature in our soil is in between 50 to 55 degrees consistently for about 1 week or so. That's when you know you're going to want to put down your pre-emergent herbicide applications. How do you know what your temperature is in the soil? It's simple. You can use a digital soil thermometer. I'll link to one down in the description below. Once your soil is in that sweet spot of 50 to 55 degrees, we know we can apply more pre-emergents. What a pre-emergent herbicide will do is it'll actually create a barrier in our lawn, and that way crabgrass seeds can't germinate, and this way they can't infest our lawn. Pre-emergent is not a magic pill that'll help stop all weed seeds from germinating, especially when it comes to those pesky dandelions. What you're going to need to do is probably be pulling those by hand. Up here in Canada, we're not able to have the typical pre-emergents like prodiamine, as they're not allowed for consumer use under our pesticide laws. So for the general homeowner, our option up here is to use an organic solution called corn gluten meal. Scott's does sell a corn gluten meal product that can have some limited effectiveness when it comes to crabgrass and dandelion control. The problem with corn gluten meal up here is that it contains one thing that we really don't want to be pushing our lawn with during the spring with lots of, and that's nitrogen. These corn gluten meal packages that Scott's produce contains 10% nitrogen in the bag. And for my typical lawn, which is 1,000 square feet, I am actually going to have to use a full 20-pound bag of this stuff on my lawn in order to get any type of effective crabgrass and or maybe some limited dandelion control. Now, of course, the problem with having 10% nitrogen in this bag is that means I'm going to be putting down 2 pounds of nitrogen in my lawn right off the bat in the spring. And what's that going to mean for us? That means for me, get ready. because my lawn is going to be growing like crazy and I'm going to be having to mow this thing about 2 to 3 times a week. For me, that's okay because I love going out and mowing the lawn that many times a week. And again, we want to be pushing nitrogen growth in the fall, not so much in the spring. But again, it's a product that we can use. It's really the only product that we can use here in Canada. Now, some of the more hardcore people who are into their lawns will probably have a way of having prodiamine actually shipped up to them here. But again, for our purposes up here, as this is a Canadian lawn channel, we're gonna work with what we have here. And what we have here, unfortunately, is corn gluten meal. And I wish these fertilizer laws would change, but we have what we have. Every year we're going to deal with a problem called thatch. What thatch is that layer of dead grass clippings and other organic material that will actually smother your lawn if you don't take care of it, and that will actually inhibit your grass growth. What you're going to want to do is go under a process called dethatching. I recommend you do this once in the spring and once in the fall to keep your lawn as healthy as it possibly can be. There's several different ways which we can go about actually dethatching our lawn. One way is by using what's called a dethatching rake. In the video that I shot last year, you saw me use this dethatching rake to go and dethatch my backyard, which was full of thatch and just overgrown type tall fescue. One thing I'm going to have to do this year is I'm going to have to retire that rake and I'm going to have to bring out an actual electric dethatcher. The electric dethatcher will actually make this job much easier and quicker and will remove tons of dead thatch in the lawn. You want to remove this thatch because you don't want it choking out your existing lawn, and you want to be able to have that healthy growth happening in your lawn. So when you're dethatching your lawn, it's going to open up your lawn so the new grass can grow. Now I'm going to be shooting a video with my new Greenworks dethatcher in about a week or two, and I'll show you the process of using that and how easy it actually is. You can get one of those if you go to your typical Lowe's or your Home Depot. But when you're actually done, it looks like you're just left with nothing but dead grass. That's okay. How do we take care of that? We'll bring out our lawnmower and we'll actually put the bagger on our mower, and that'll suck up all the thatch. The only thing you're gonna have to do is empty that bag, because that bag is actually gonna fill up with clippings very quickly. By learning how, when, and why to dethatch, it's gonna give us that healthy, thick, green, lush lawn that we all want and crave. Now, one of the most important and final steps that we need to take is to make sure our lawnmower is in tip-top shape and it's ready for the upcoming lawn season. If you remember the video that I shot last year, I went through the process on how to do some DIY lawnmower maintenance to save yourself some money so you didn't have to take your lawn to be tuned up at a store, and that will typically cost you in around $90 to $100. So go through that video where I run through some steps on how to change the oil in your lawnmower, change the spark plug in your lawnmower, and of course how to change the blade in your lawnmower. Now, the most important thing when it comes to lawn care, when it comes to mowing your lawn, is you actually want to cut your lawn with a sharp mower blade. Cutting your lawn with a sharp mower blade is actually going to help you have a healthier lawn. If you cut your lawn with a dull mower blade, what will happen, it's going to tear at the grass blades and it's going to rip the grass blades apart. And the problem we have with ripping the grass blades apart is it could invite lawn disease in your lawn, and that's not what we want. How often do I go ahead and change the blade on my lawnmower? I typically change my blade on the lawnmower about once a month. I'm pretty high maintenance when it comes to that. That's why I have 2 blades on the go. One on the lawnmower and one that's already sharp when I need the other one. That way, when I need to sharpen the other one, I take that into my local shop and get that sharpened. Costs me about 10 or 15 bucks, give or take. But again, if you know how to use an angle grinder or a bench grinder, you can do this yourself at home. I certainly hope you enjoyed this video where I presented tips on how to have the best lawn this spring. If you enjoy my content, please subscribe below so you're updated when new videos come out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.